guys, this is kind of a sad day for me today because I just found out about the Boston Marathon bombings. Literally, it was yesterday I found out right when it happened, and I haven't had internet access for the rest of the day and until just now. So, yeah, we're gonna do a little tribute to those lost in the Boston Marathons and also the countless who were injured. But I want to show you guys this one YouTube video that there's this one comment that I want to show you guys. Let me just load it up. Go to my history. Oh, right, history. I clean it every week just so I can have faster processing speed. It actually does help a lot. Alright, we're going to pause the video and we're going to look. Okay. Alright, so here are the comments, and I just wanted to show you guys these because I'm going to give you my personal opinion on Obama pretty soon. Alright. Crackers. What a racist bastard. Look at how many people are saying F Obama. Now this guy right here, there's like Wang Zhang, Wang Li. I really, this is just sickening. Okay, I'm gonna do another political video. I know I vowed never to do it again, but this is what I think is crazy. All right, number one, Obama. Here's what I think of him. If there's any Secret Service people, if you disagree with what I'm saying, please put it in the comments. Nicely, please don't call me a freaking stupid American or anything like that. Just nicely say it in the comments because I'll literally just disable the comments for my video, this one, if you freaking start being assholes. But here's what I think about Obama. I think Obama is literally our worst president ever. Here's the reason why. Here's three facts that I'm going to give you guys. One, he started that stimulus plan. You know, that's 7 billion, 712 billion, somewhere around there, dollars to bail out the car companies. I think, literally, I think that you could say was the only successful thing that he did, but the car companies are still paying back that loan or debt or whatever. But just that one, I really think that, well, that's the only thing I'm going to support him for, is that he bailed out the car companies. Because if the car companies fell, America would be done for. But here's three things that I think he did that were terrible. Just downright stupid. One, Obamacare. Obamacare is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. From what the person that I'm living with has been telling me, and she is very smart, she applies for this, and pretty much she cares about this. Obamacare is pretty much going to make it so unless you are in dire need of medical equipment or services, like if you're a senior citizen and you need health care, they're going to focus more not on the senior citizens but on the people that can actually repopulate, reproduce and stuff. And they're pretty much just not going to give a shit about the senior citizens. Number two, He literally is just spending so much money. In his presidency last year, from 2008 to 2012, he spent about maybe 7 to 8 trillion dollars. Not him, but him approving bills to spend money and stuff. But it's Congress. Now, don't get me wrong. Congress has all the power. The president can only, you know, he has if he wants a bill to be passed, he passes it through Congress. And then if Congress decides for it to be approved, and whatever. And if the Congress proposes a bill, the president can veto it. And I'm not saying that it's all Obama's fault. It's also Congress's. But I just think that Congress and Obama combined have spent 7 to 8 trillion dollars. You know how many trillions of dollars that other presidents have had? The last 40 some presidents, they haven't spent as much money as Obama has and Congress in his administration within the past 4 years, within the past 250 years, or however long our country has been around, since 1776. So, well, our first president was in 1786, but third thing, which I severely, severely, severely hate, is gun control. Number one pet peeve with this guy. Obama, if you're gonna watch this, if you somehow get a hold of this video, here's what I think. I'm not threatening you, I'm just stating my opinion. And gun control will literally run down America. America, if we lose our guns, an enemy country can march right in and just take over everything. We don't have enough actual military to support an invasion of the United States. Because most of our military, like 3/4 of it, are overseas in different countries in Afghanistan, Guam, you know, freaking Germany, in countries, and just most of them, like, I think I would have to say half of our military are, maybe 1/4 to half of our military are in Afghanistan fighting the war. The other half or 1/4 are stationed in a couple of forts in America, but there's not enough military presence there to ward off an entire land invasion. American militia will be the forerunner to help America if there was ever an invasion. There are countless, like probably a million or more militia members with their own guns, their own ammunition. There's even a lot. I would have to say at least in every state there is at least one major base that is based, militia members. And militia members, but then you also got to take in consideration the National Guard. There's not enough of them to ward off, let's say, if the Chinese or even the North Koreans. I mean, you never know. The North Korean Special Operations Force and their regular military, they could just march right in and start blowing shit up if Obama got rid of guns. And I don't want some freaking foreigners to take over my homeland. I would fight to the death. And if I die for the glory of America. But America is going down the shitter. It literally is. Congress is just corrupt. They don't know their morals, their true morals. Or they don't even, they're all a bunch of lawyers that only want to fill their pockets. It just pisses me off. I'm only 15 going on 16, and I don't want to raise my kids in some hellhole when I have kids someday. It's like, why? Why would you ruin a country that has been the leading superpower? I mean, we took down the freaking Japanese and the Germans in World War II. We took down the Soviet Union in the Cold War. We told Cuba to dismantle their missiles. Kennedy stared down the freaking Cubans and the Russians, and we got them to dismantle their nuclear missiles. We stared down Nikita something, whatever, I can't remember, I can't pronounce his last name, in the Cuban Missile Crisis. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. I mean, come on, America has done so much. But then we've also had our hiccups in the past, like the Vietnam War. And today, we're getting in other people's business that we shouldn't be getting into their business. For example, freaking, what was it? Afghanistan? I think we're over there just to prove a point. Or just, I heard about there was actually this mine where it has enough material and precious goods in it to pay off our national debt. But if there's any reason, it's so we can go over there and control everything again. But I do gotta say, every country that we've been to, we've helped them out. As far as I know, I don't know of any country that we have not gone to and helped out and fixed everything. But just Obama, just please lay off. But stuff like this, I mean, these terrorist attack. I mean, look at the school shooting in Connecticut, and that wasn't even not even a couple of months ago, and now we got another bombing. I mean, it's either someone's trying to make the government crack, or these are actual terrorists. And not trying to I'm just speculating, but I can only think of three people, like three groups of people that would do these bombings. Terrorists, extremists from the Taliban, North Koreans, possibly the Russians. I don't know. I don't think the Russians would do this. I don't think they got anything against us. But then the fourth and final one, I would have to say either Syria or the Egyptians, you know, some group of terrorists or people from a different country that, I mean, look at that US ambassador that was killed in Syria or Egypt, one of the two countries. I mean, just holy mackerel. A US ambassador was killed and we didn't do jack shit about it. It's what the fuck, you know? Anyways, that was pretty much my spiel on this topic. I'm not gonna play the video because, I'm really not gonna play it. But I mean, look at these freaking, like, people get so defensive. I mean, I love America, but I would never, ever, ever say some of the stuff that has been said on this one. And another thing, too, just gotta touch on this Israel. We have always been allies with Israel. I mean, look at the Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs go to Israel to train with the Israeli commandos. The best of the best, I think. I mean, in the world, if there were to be anybody that would go against the Navy SEALs, I would say the Israeli commandos would be perfect. The Israeli commandos, they're fighting war constantly from invaders, from, let's see if I know my world geography pretty good. I know, like, how Israel is located on the sea, and there's enemy countries that are all Muslim or different religions, then you got the Jewish people. Just constant invasion, and if it weren't for the Israeli commandos and the Israeli army, Israel would no longer be a country. And I'm not going to be some douche that says, oh, fuck the Jews, they should all died in the Holocaust. I mean, you don't say that. That's just terrible. I was just saying it as an example, but you just do not say stuff like that unless you were some stupid person. I don't care. But this person's trying to be, the hero. Yeah. Now this is what gets me very, very, very enraged right here. The Chinese Communist Party and the Chinese nation are behind our Iranian brothers who are behind this courageous action against those white pigs. Long live the Chinese Communist Party, fuck Americans. Well, Wang Li. I bet you would have a different opinion if, let's say, for example, China was behind the Boston bombings. I don't know about you guys, but I think America would go to war with China. I mean, hell, I would go to war with China. I mean, if they were behind a bombing that killed an 8-year-old boy and a few multiple others, wounding countless others, I would say, you know what? You just started a war. I don't care. We're starting the draft again. I would gladly go. Hell, I would go fight the Chinese. Hell, I'd fight the North Koreans. I'd fight anyone that is against America. Now, if you were from China and watching this, I'm not saying, you know, go to war with the Chinese if they're behind it, but, well, that's pretty much what I'm saying. But, I mean, China really, we have relations with them. We're really not on good terms because, you know, they're communist and America has always despised communists. But it's just ridiculous. The world, my friends, is going to be hell until freaking America, we can get our shit together. Freaking, actually, we help everyone else, but no one helps us in return. I mean, look at the freaking British. I still hate you guys for. I still don't like it that you guys backed out of the freaking Iraqi war. When we went down there, when we went to Iraq, we had a bunch of different countries, France, Germany, Britain, to name a few, that were down there freaking helping us fight. Now they all pulled out. Don't you think America should pull out too, you know? It's just ridiculous. But I do gotta say though, let's do a worst case scenario. China was behind the war, or behind the bombings. The American people would be outraged when they find out who it is, and let's say it was China, for example. America would want to go to war with China. I think what we would do is before we go to war with China, we will pull out of Iraq. If our leaders are smart, if our generals are smart, if we're going to fight a war, we can't fight a war on two fronts. Look at Hitler. He fought the Russians and the Americans and the Allies on the western and eastern fronts. He got butt fucked severely from the western and eastern fronts. So, that, my friends, is not a good war idea. If you're going to attack a freaking country, you're not going to attack on two fronts. You're all going to fight on one front because then you can concentrate all your firepower onto that one front. But then if a new front opens, you divide willingly, or not willingly, but you know, you would try to get in more people so you can support both fronts equally. And if one front starts to fail, send send a couple of soldiers, a few soldiers to the new front, and so on and so forth. But anyways, if we were to go to war with China, Iraq, Iran, backing up China, possibly North Korea backing up China, but you know who we would have? France, Britain, Germany. Maybe the Russians will help us, I don't know. But the United Nations, like Canada, freaking Canada, everyone thinks their military is garbage, but they are good. Freaking Canada, Canada. What the frick am I saying? Jeez. But Canada, some Latin American countries, and we'll have a quick strike force team possibly, because if I remember correctly, Japan is in the United Nations, I'm pretty sure. China might be in the United Nations, I'm not sure. But anyways, if there would be World War III if China was behind the Boston bombings. I can guarantee you that. If it was the North Koreans, boom, you got a huge fucking war because the United Nations will help the United States because the United Nations really doesn't look, it looks friendly upon communism. Because I don't really think there's that many communists, if there are any, in the United Nations. There's about 50 some countries, I bet. But just, oh my gosh, I'm really actually psyched because I hope there's another World War III because I want to go fight in it. I don't care if I die. If I die, I can at least say when I'm in heaven, yeah, I died in World War III. What up now, angels? But that's pretty much my video for today, guys. I just I really hope that there is a war, but at the same time I don't. Because right now we're just wasting lives in Iraq and Afghanistan, Kuwait, you know, the whole shooting match. We killed Saddam Hussein, we killed, I forgot his name. Bin Laden, we killed him. So let's just get the GTFO and freaking support our country. I mean, I'm really suspicious about the North Koreans and stuff, but that'll be a whole new episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very informative episode because everything I'm saying I think is true. But everyone has their own opinion. So like this video